going to be sharing a few of my views, and you can take this for in an educational standpoint or in terms of your own trading. Now, so you guys will know I was very vocal on shorts being the ultimate move here. Once we took that liquidity up there, we had about 1.5% deviation above the previous high, and I was basically telling you guys to be cautious with longs because we could see an ultimate move down. And after this big move here, I hadn't touched long or any position really, and since then there's only really been moves down. Actually, I think I entered a long here, but then I got stopped out at entry once I think the first 2 or 3 targets were hit. Now, I was looking for a long. After this big move down, I was like, hey, maybe it's just a brief moment below the previous low. It could be a liquidity grab, maybe tapping some of this candle, who knows. But now I'm starting to think, hey, maybe this move is a bit more than a deviation and perhaps a bit of a stronger move below. To be honest, the past 2 weeks or so of trading has been rough. It's been quite difficult to get alerts out, although I was doing great up until about the past few days, but now it is getting a little bit more tricky. So, what am I looking for? First of all, we're going to slap on the FEG indicator. And yeah, it's not pretty. But then again, you know, you've got these here, although the indicator won't go back far enough. Got this. But since we're so close to this, you know, you would be thinking to yourself, perhaps this is the next move, you know? So let's keep that in mind. We do have an FEG created from this initial move down. So I was actually thinking perhaps you could revisit up here and that would be a short entry. But after what I saw earlier today, I do not think this is going to be possible. So let me show you guys what I saw. So we're going to now move to Trader Reality Indicator, and first off, that's not a nice rejection. We've moved below the 50 moving average and we've already rejected from this. If you look, this is a fairly strong moving average. You'll see not so much here, but here especially we bounced from it, and when we went below it we continued to trend lower. Until we actually found the 100 moving average, which we were able to use to bounce above. So, with that being said, what do I think? Well, we're also going to have a quick look at the 1 hour then. It's honestly not much better. We've had a really nasty rejection here from the 50 moving average, and this is again actually it's been a really strong moving average. Like you've seen, these wicks are all, even when you got above it, especially here, Christ, it's been following it quite strongly, to say the least. And with that rejection there, it's not great. Again, you never know, we might see a move up into here. That is the risk of shorting at the moment. You know, an absolute confident trade would be a short up around here. But you know, I don't know if we're gonna get there, and like the long is not looking great in my opinion. But with that being said, we did have a bit of what seems to be a liquidity grab. We did then retest the previous. This is a common setup I see. It would look something along the lines of this. You know, that is exactly what we've got there, just in a much smaller frame. So that is also maybe we do see up here, but that rejection is nasty. That daily rejection is nasty. Again, we do have some time before the day closes, so I'm very on the fence. But I think these are two outcomes we will see. I think the likely outcome, I'll first go in the short time frame. I think the likely outcome we'll see something along the lines of this. Breaking that low, or at least tapping into this low, which is where we can perhaps long for a scalp or something. Now, what I think then in the bit of a longer term, assuming we are unable to break that 50 daily moving average, I think in order to tap these vectors, I think that we could see perhaps something along the lines of this and then up, or if not, I think we could see similar, but instead just down to this moving average, wherever that may be at the time, and that would take out these two vectors, these two FEGs, and would set us up for perhaps a new long. Or if you break, well, then we're in a bit more trouble. But you know, it is coming up to winter again. Inflation may be a problem, who knows? So there's a lot of macroeconomics there to take into consideration too. So right, yeah, and and then the alternate is that we do follow through with the setup I showed below, the one where it goes down and retest it, and we could in fact move up to here and take this FEG and perhaps come back down again. You know, it is a tricky one, but my bias at the moment would definitely be lower. And you see, it depends. If you break above here, well, you know what, the risk is quite short. That small there. It's not one. It's definitely not one I'd be going in heavy on, because just the risk to reward were already quite low. But you know, it's something to take into consideration.